Welcome to Conversations with Miss Marcy, the podcast where we get real about relationships, culture, and the truth that shapes us. No fluff, no filters, just bold conversations that matter. Now let's dive in. Hey, everybody, it's Miss Marcy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Yes, and if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe and just share this podcast with your friends and everything, your friends and your mama and them. But thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. So yes, I am doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. And as I like to do, first things first, let's go ahead and get into this mental health check-in. All right, so let me see, mental health check-in. So this week it's been a pretty good week. Actually it's been a great week. I went on a trip to Florida. I went to Fort Lauderdale, which I love Fort Lauderdale. I like to visit Fort Lauderdale because I don't know, it's just something about the vibe and I just love it. So me and my good girlfriend, we went out there, had a really good time. We went out there from Thursday to Sunday actually, and it was a really good time. And we stayed at the Bahia, I think it's called the Bahia Mar Hotel, and we had some of those damn cookies I couldn't get enough of. I was like, "Oh my gosh." So before the trip and everything, I've been trying to just watch my eating, just watching my weight and everything. But baby, when I went on that trip, all that went out the window. It sure did. I ate what the hell I wanted to eat. I drank what I wanted to drink. And yeah, that's what I did. And who gonna check me, boo? So they basically kept giving out those fresh ass cookies, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I have to." I just couldn't resist. So anyway, so we went out there. We went to this spot called the Boatyard, which I like the Boatyard because I've been there before, and I really like it. It is just really nice and just cool and laid back. It gets really crowded and everything. And let me say this too. I damn near choked on some oysters. Okay, I call myself just trying to eat these oysters or whatever. And I've had oysters before, but for some reason, that vinegar sauce that they have on there, I poured too much on there, and I literally, you gotta slurp the oyster up in your mouth, and I'm like slurping it in, and the vinegar was just too strong for my throat, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm choking." It literally felt like for 2 seconds my freaking throat closed up, and my friend, she started laughing because she thought I was faking. I'm like, "No, I'm fucking choking." I mean, it's not funny now, but when you're in a moment like that, 2 seconds feel like, I mean, for real, 2 seconds of feeling like you can't breathe, that felt like 10 minutes. So it's not a laughing matter, but yeah, I was damn near choking and shit, and I damn near OD'd on them damn cookies for real. But all was well. So we had a good time at the boatyard and everything. And yeah, so we were there, and then let me see, that was on Thursday. And I mean, for it to be the travel day, you be tired when you travel and you be exhausted once you get to your destination, whether you drive or whether you fly. You just be kind of tired, just a little bit of jet lag going on and things like that. And it's the time difference and all that kind of stuff, depending on where you go. But I think that we did pretty good as far as, just being able to stay up late, stay out late, being that was the day we came in and we both were pretty tired or whatever. But then after we left the boatyard, we went to this other spot, which is around the corner, it was around the corner from the hotel. It was just a really nice spot where it was like a I don't even know the name of it, but it was it had like different restaurants in one spot, like a little courtyard, like a little food courtyard, but it was more like a nightlife type situation, and they had like a club that was basically on a boat. So it was really cool. So we went there that same night, Thursday night, and had a good time. And then the next day we did brunch at this spot called the Tasty G Spot. That's an interesting name for for a brunch spot. Now, they had some good ass food. The food was fire, but they were ghetto. Like they were in like a little like on a it was like 30 minutes away from us from where we were staying and everything. And it was like in a little deserted looking area and everything. It was just like they could do better with their location. And then it is a black owned establishment. And let me say this. I am all in support of black owned businesses and everything. But I'm just gonna say I'm just kind of getting tired of the same old stuff with these black businesses, especially when they're new. They don't have certain things in order. Like this place, they didn't even have their name on the damn building. And it's like it's one of those spots where you could tell that I hate to say this. I do hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it. You could tell they're not gonna be around long. I mean, for real. And it's just it seems like that just keeps being the thing with these black owned restaurants. You want to go and support them, but it's like, excuse me, they don't have their shit together. And it's like you want to support them, but it's like, okay, y'all need to do better. It's like I said, they didn't have their name on the damn building. Not only that, the location was really, really bad. And like when you drove up there, when you pulled up, it looks like they were closed. Like it looked like it was just dark. I'm like, is this thing even open? It looked like it's in a deserted area. So that was the thing. And then we we were in there and everything. The patrons were singing like a karaoke type thing. They were just they had the music playing, and there was like these group of females. They were in there singing. I don't have a problem with singing music, singing along and things like that, because we were kind of singing as well, me and my friend. But we were doing it amongst each other. It was just like they were loud, and Fantasia's song was on. And when I see you, never know when you might walk by something always. And I was like, oh my gosh, they are for real. And I'm not trying to be bougie or nothing like that, but I'm just like, it's certain things just, I don't know. I was just like, okay. But the food was fire. I had the spiked vanilla, what was it? Spiked vanilla French toast, but it was it was more of a damn the damn what's the pound cake? It was more of a pound cake. So it was a spiked vanilla pound cake French toast. It was so freaking good and fluffy. Y'all know I'm a breakfast chick anyway. I don't care. I love breakfast. I love breakfast and brunch. So I definitely was going to get me some good breakfast from some damn where while I was out of town. So I had that. It was really good. And it was spiked with that Bailey's liquor. Really good. And I enjoyed it. And my friend, I forgot what she had, but she was loving her chicken wings. She was like, this shit hitting. So we had a really good meal. And I'm glad we did because, like I said, that kind of made up for, the place not really having it all the way together. But I hope they do well. I hope they stay around, but I don't know. So anyway, so that was part of it. That was part of the trip and everything. And of course, we got in some beach time. You can't go to Florida and not go to the beach. Let me tell you something. I freaking love the beach. Every time I go to Florida, I can't not go to the beach. The beach, if I live there, I will be at the beach every day, every evening around 7 or 6 because I love the sunset. And just the beach alone just gives you this peace. It's just something. And I really needed this trip. I really did. Sometimes you don't know how much you need something until you actually do it. And I'm just like, man, I needed this trip real bad. And it was just so relaxing. I just got a really good peace of mind going on. And I just really enjoyed myself. Me and my friend really enjoyed ourselves. Posted a lot of videos on my TikTok. So yes. So if you're not following me on there, you can follow me on TikTok. And yeah, my TikTok is, let me see, because I just kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you, I just started kind of doing TikTok. So it's on there. I'm on there. It's Miss Mar 1123. So it's MISSMAR 1123. Make sure you follow me on there. So yes. And so that was that was part of the trip as well. So, like I said, we did the beach, and what else did we do? We did a few things. We did a lot of fun stuff within those few days or whatever. And yeah. See, my thing is this: when I take a trip, I don't really be into like turning up, turning up, turn up. My turn up is more so like a turn down. My turn up is more so me relaxing because I feel like why am I gonna go on a vacation and party all day, every day, get drunk, wear myself out to the point where I need a fucking vacation from the vacation. That don't make sense. So that's not what I like to do. I like to get to my destination, soak in the scenery much as I possibly can, relax a lot actually. Relax, just chill, lay back. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind a turn up day or two, but my whole vacation is not going to be about me turning up. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I like to get good food. I like to just, like I said, I like to be on the beach if I can. I like to just really get my mind together. That's the whole point. So yes, you're not gonna find me on a vacation trip just drunk the whole weekend, just crazy the whole week. No, no, no. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it for me. So, and I don't like a full booked trip. I don't like no just booked itinerary. Hell, I don't like a full booked weekend. I'm like one day out of the weekend, I need to chill. I'm not gonna spend the whole weekend just out and about hustling, bustling. No, I'm not doing that. So that's just what I do. So if you ever take a trip with me, you already know what to expect. And you gotta know, that's why you gotta know who you're traveling with too. Because some people, everybody's idea of fun is different. So me and my friend that went, we're pretty much on the same page about our type of fun. But some people, you got some people you go on trips with, they want to sleep the whole damn trip. They don't give a fuck. They want to sleep the whole entire trip. They want to sleep, stay in the hotel, and all that. And then you got some people they want to be drunk the whole trip. They want to, they want to be drunk from sun up to sundown every day, all day. That's that. And then you got some people they want to go have sex with people. They want to try to go have sex with people. And yeah, that's their idea of fun. Some people they want to be out all night having sex or getting drunk to where you got to carry them back to the room. So you got to know who you're traveling with. So anyway, and I don't care if you're good friends with the person. I don't care if you've been knowing them. I don't care who it is. You got to know everybody's style of travel. So anyway, so yes, so that was that. We did that and everything. And what else? We went to this rooftop spot. Was really nice. They were pretty pricey though. They were pretty pricey. It was like $28 for a drink, and so we were like, yeah, no, um, yeah, no. uh, hold on. Let me say this to my friend texting me. All right. So anyway, um, it was a nice rooftop spot. I can't even remember the name, but it had a really, 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 really beautiful view on outside and everything. And but like I said, it was a bit pricey. $28 for one drink. No, no, ma'am. So we passed on the drinks, but we did enjoy the atmosphere and things like that. And there was a few other places we went to. Oh, we went to the Hard Rock Casino, which I think the Hard Rock Casino was it was cool. It was just a lot of people there, but I think that it would have been better if there was an event going on there. So I mean, it was a nice crowd or whatever. We went and got some food and hung out there and everything, but we both kind of felt like the Hard Rock Casino was a little overrated or whatnot. So, I mean, in a nutshell, that was my trip to Fort Lauderdale. I will be back Fort Lauderdale because you are always good to me. And our hotel was nice too. It was pretty cool. We had a nice view of the beach. We had like a beachfront. Now it wasn't like it wasn't like, so basically the way the room was set up, we could see like half of the roof of the building, so it kind of took away from the view, but we were still able to see the view of the beach. So yeah, I'm a big scenery girl anyway too, so I like to have a nice scenery. So this always makes me happy. It's always pleasing to my eyes. But yeah, the place was called Burgers and Shakes. So yeah, they had some really, really good burgers. And then there was a place called Blue Steel Pizza. It was a lot of nice little spots. It was called the Marina Village. That's what it was. The Marina Village. So anyway, all right. So that was the trip. So that was cool. Like I said, as far as mental health check in, I feel good. I feel relaxed. I feel like I needed that vacation. You know what? Let me ask you this. Now, also as a result of my traveling, my damn back, my lower back is like, oh my gosh. Do y'all ever, when y'all travel, do y'all ever have issues with your body or just anything? And this is not the first time that my back has actually kind of bothered me after I'd have, been traveling and everything. And my homeboy, he said that his back was basically stiff as hell and he could barely walk. And he went on a cruise with his family, and like I said, I was in Florida, but he went on a cruise, these two separate trips. But, he said that his back was really stiff. And I said, mine too. He said his back was really stiff and that he could barely walk. And I'm like, damn, what is it? So I just want to know, do other people experience that from traveling and everything? Because, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to get on here and talk about something that I saw this story the other day out of Nashville, Tennessee. And it was a very sad story about a young lady who was shot and killed after she allegedly forced herself into her husband's girlfriend's home. Okay. And I'm going to go to the report let me see, where is this? Channel 5, WCSC. And I'm going to read the report real quick. And then I'm going to give my thoughts on this. So it says, Nashville, Tennessee. A woman in Nashville was shot and killed after allegedly forcing entry into the home of her husband's girlfriend. Metro Nashville police say that 42-year-old Kiana Wilson died after being shot inside a home on Scalf Drive. Wilson allegedly went to the home looking for her husband, okay, who was in a dating relationship with another woman. She allegedly found her husband's car behind the home and used her key to move the vehicle in front of the house. Police said that Wilson then knocked on the front door, and after some time, the other woman began speaking to Wilson through the home's surveillance system speaker. Both of the women began arguing over the speaker about whether Wilson's husband was inside. When Wilson attempted to enter the home, police said the other woman fired one shot into the storm door. However, Wilson was not struck by that bullet. Soon after Wilson gained entry, the two began to fight. At some point, she said she wasn't letting no motherfucking bullet stop her. She still wanted to get up in there. At some point, a second shot was fired by the other woman and struck Wilson in the abdomen, police said. Wilson then left the home and drove a short distance in her husband's car before flagging down an officer outside of the Madison precinct. Wilson was taken to Skyline Medical Center where she later died. No charges are being filed at this time as the investigation continues. This is what I want to say about that. And it's unfortunate and so sad that this young lady lost her life behind this situation, because I was brought up under the school of thought that you don't go to nobody's home. You don't go looking for trouble. Now I understand that was her husband and everything. And who knows, they might have had issues with him cheating previously, or it could have been with different women or could have been with this same woman. The Kiana girl could have been familiar with this girl anyway, or it could have been a new woman. Whatever the case, you do not go to nobody's home looking for that type of trouble, because you don't know what you're going to get. And then for the other young lady to fire that bullet, and Kiana still wanted to enter into her home, like, my gosh, I'm not going to lie. I'm the type of chick, first of all, I wouldn't have went over there. But second of all, if I did feel like I was, because you never know what you're going to do in a situation. You never know when you're in love or when you're married or whatever. You don't know what you're going to do. I'm not trying to victim shame this young lady. I'm not doing that. So if anybody, her family, anybody listening, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if I hadn't went over there, that first bullet, that first shot would have scared the hell out of me, and I would have ran. I will run from a confrontation. I sure will. I will run from a fight, and I will run. Damn sure gonna run from a bullet. And I say that to say because I'm not a young girl no more, and I have a lot to lose, and I'm not one of those people that feel like I'm tougher than nails, and oh my gosh, I can't get my ass kicked, or oh my gosh, I can't get killed. No, and it's just so unfortunate. And they were saying that the young lady who fired the shot allegedly had previously had, she's been in trouble with the law before and things like that. I don't know. But I just know that you don't go to nobody's house looking for trouble. And I can't stand a man who will put a woman in this position. I mean, I can't stand nobody that put people in this type of position. Like, people who are just kind of messy or whatever, or just who knows. But she could have followed him. Maybe she put a tracker on his car. I don't know. But for whatever reason, she knew that he was at this young woman's house. And it's so sad because now she's lost her life, and he's pretty much going to still be out here doing whatever the hell it is he's doing. And I wonder if that young lady is going to get off on self-defense. I really wonder, and I wouldn't be surprised if she did, because of the fact the young lady went to her house. I've known a lot of situations like this where somebody went to somebody's house and ended up getting killed or whatnot, and the other person get off. The other person got off because you just don't go looking for trouble. So that I'm thinking that they probably citing the Kiana young lady as the instigator because she went to her home and everything. And I feel like at a certain point in life, at a certain age, there's just certain confrontations you just shouldn't even entertain. You just should not even entertain. One of my good girlfriends was caught up in a situation with a guy that she was dealing with, and I mean, the people, all parties involved, are in their 40s and up. And so the guy was dealing with my friend, and then he was lying about dealing with another young lady, which the other young lady was known to fight over him. Some little ghetto chick. I'm just going to say what it is. Known to fight over him. And I mean, I guess they have an on and off relationship. I don't know what the relationship was, but they have some type of relationship where this young lady feels comfortable and she feels okay with going and confronting other women over this guy. And he's a whore. He's pretty much a whore. He's community dick. He's a whore. So he was dealing with my friend, but he was lying like he's not dealing with the other young lady. Well, what ended up happening is the young lady ended up rolling up on my friend. They're out and about. She rolled up on my friend. Like, oh, you stop calling my man. That type of high school shit. And they almost got to fighting. And I'm like, girl, my thing is this. First time a bitch roll up on me over a ninja. Let me tell you something. That dude, don't call me no more. All of my 40 years of living, I've not had dramas with other women over a man. Because for one, I don't allow myself to deal with messy ass dudes. There are some messy ass dudes out there. Women are not just messy. It's some messy ass men out there. Some men like drama. Some men, they love that attention, honey. They love to see bitches bicker over them. Well, no, sir. No, I'm not going to give the satisfaction. But like I said, let me knock on wood, because so far I haven't had females coming up to me or, calling my house and shit like that. I haven't had that because I really pay attention to the type of dude. You know when a dude messy, man, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you don't know, but a lot of times, when somebody, it's just the way a nigga moves sometimes. So anyway, I told my friend, I said, girl, no. Don't even entertain him no more, because it's like whenever somebody has that type of energy following them, where a woman is calling your phone or a woman is coming to your house or rolling up on you out in public, it's time to cut the cord with him. It's time to cut the cord. And I'm not going to say it's just men, because women be having that type of energy around them too, because I've known situations where a guy has been dealing with a woman that he just met. I'm talking about a week or two, or maybe like a month or so, and he's at this young lady's home, and her ex, or just fresh out of a relationship ex or whoever, had a whole sucker attack and came over and killed him because he's in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong bitch. So it happens. I'm not gonna say it's just, women or men. It's both. You have got to know who you are dealing with, or pay attention to people. And I feel like men need to quit being so quick to jump up and run over a woman's house trying to get some ass. You don't know what that woman can have going. You don't know what she has going on, or what she's previously trying to get rid of or whatnot. You don't know. You got to sit back and feel people out. Talk to people. Quit being so in a hurry to get over and get some ass. Quit being so thirsty. So anyway, back to the situation. Now, I'm trying to see if there's any updates on this story, because so far I don't see any. But I just really thought this was sad that this happened. And I really feel like the young lady's going to get off, and the Kiana's family, they're going to be really upset, because it's like, it's like too, when our loved one dies and they were in the wrong, it's like we hate to admit it. We hate to admit it. You know, I can personally relate to that story. I can personally relate to that type of situation, because my stepfather lost his life due to a situation similar. Basically, he was involved with a woman, and had a baby by this woman and everything. Now, obviously, he was my stepdad, so he was married to my mom. So obviously, he was a married man, and he and this woman got into it. The situation escalated. It got physical. And as a result, her sister stabbed him to death. And trying to defend her sister, she stabbed my stepdad to death. And I remember, because people can be so cold. Like, people don't care. Like, they don't care when people don't care. So I remember when he died, I remember people saying stuff like, oh, he brought that on himself. He shouldn't have been over there with that woman. He had no business being over there with that woman. He should have been at home with his wife and kids. And that was a situation that he entertained and had been entertaining. And if I'm not mistaken, that wasn't the first time, from the stories I've been told, that wasn't the first time that my stepdad, God rest his soul, that wasn't the first time that he and that woman had an altercation like that, where it was physical. And this time it just escalated. And like I said, her sister called herself coming to her defense and stabbed him in the back, stabbed him to death. So yeah, stuff like that happens. And it, like I said, it's just unfortunate. But I remember for years, we wanted to put so much blame on that woman, the woman he was dealing with, and the woman that stabbed him, of course. But in all actuality, in hindsight, now that I'm older, this happened when I was I had to be about 6. This happened in 1986. So yeah, I was about 6 years old. And I just remember, like I said, people were, oh yeah, he brought that on himself. He ain't had no business being over there like that anyway. This, that, and the third. And so, like I said, for years we had, we blamed the girl and her sister or whatnot, because we looked at it like, well, shit, if she hadn't been cheating with him, this, that. But the true accountability was supposed to go to my stepdad. But again, like I said, when we lose our loved one, it's hard to see it like that. Because at the end of the day, he was in the wrong. Now, I'm not saying he deserved that. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying that we do have to be accountable for our actions and everything, even if it costs us our life. Nobody won in that situation. My stepfather lost his life. We lost him. And the other family, I believe, from what the stories I was told, that they actually fell out, those two sisters, because it was like the one, she had a child with him. And I believe it was said that she felt like, well, damn, you didn't have to kill him. So I don't know, but I heard they fell out behind that over the years. They fell out or whatever. But yeah, so going back to the situation with Kiana, with Miss Wilson, I'm sure her family's going to feel the same way. I'm sure her family's not going to want to look at the fact that, my goodness, I hate that she took herself over to that woman's house. They're not gonna see it like that. They're gonna see it as, oh, damn, that bitch shouldn't have killed her. That bitch didn't have to shoot. It's like, man, it's like we just really have to, like I said, we gotta really understand the conflict that we choose to entertain and if it's even worth it. I've never been married, but I can just imagine sometimes, our ego flare up too. Oh, hell nah, this bitch thinks she about to have my man. You know what I'm saying? Or this nigga, he think he about to do this to me. Cause my thing is, what was Kiana's, like, what was she think, like, what was she going over there to do? I mean, did she go over there to fight the girl? Cause that's what happened. Or did she go over there to go get her man and say, come on, let's go home? That stuff is scary. That is just scary. Like the fact that I mean, people be willing, like, I'm just like I'm like I said, I'm scared to go over somebody's house. I'm scared to go over another woman's house, and I'm scared because I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't want nobody coming to mind because I can't trust myself to what I might do. In self defense, I don't know what I might do. You coming to my house, bitch? You coming to get me? You coming to kill me? You coming to shoot me? You coming to stab me? You coming to beat my ass? Not in my damn house. And going back to my stepdad, he went to her house. He went to her house. He left. He had been drinking. He left with his brothers and his other, cousins and stuff. But then he turned around and went back over there. Went back over there. And the rest is history. I'm just saying, like, and for myself, if somebody come up in my house, I don't know what I might do. You more than likely, you're probably not gonna get up out of here. You're probably not gonna get up out of here alive, or if you do, you're gonna be very well injured. When you come to people's home, it's like a stoplight. It's like a stop sign or a stoplight. If you go past that stop sign or stoplight, it's like you saying you down for whatever's about to come your way. So I don't know, and I'm sure that husband probably he probably feels a great deal of remorse or a great deal of guilt. And ain't no telling how long he was dealing with this girl. I'm just tripping off the first bullet. She didn't even leave. She still came in there to bang. Like, ain't no bullet gonna stop me. Trying to see the other young lady's name. Okay, so the girl who did this shooting was named Keosha Greer. So I'm thinking, yeah, Kiana had been knowing about this situation because she knew to go over there. She had a feeling how women's intuition ain't no joke. And the fact that the Keosha girl was talking to her through the speaker, I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, the Keosha girl might not even wanted no drama. She tried to talk to her through the speaker, but then I think when Kiana seemed like she got aggressive, the girl decided to, pull her firearms out. And I wonder where was he at? Was he trying to break it up? It's just sad. Like I said, the first time I see the sign that somebody has that type of energy around them, like, I don't want no. I'm too old for this shit. I don't want no woman rolling up on me. I don't. You can have him. But even if it's a situation, because I know, like, when my friend, going back to my friend, he had the guy had my friend thinking that, that the girl was just still crazy about him and couldn't accept the fact that they was no longer together and shit like that. People run that shit too. And I told my friend, I said, you know what? Even if that is the case, even though I knew it wasn't the case, but I'm like, even if that is the case, you know what? He still has that type of energy. He still has that type of energy following him, because the fact that this girl feels comfortable enough to roll up on you, no, that's saying a lot. That's saying too much. I don't care how crazy she might be. I don't care what she think they got going on or whatever. I don't care. Nip that situation in the bud. We are at a place in life where the people we choose to entertain, the energy we choose to entertain, it is critical. It is critical. And we don't have time to play. We don't have that kind of time. Senseless violence, just a senseless murder, just a life being taken just over something senseless. A lot of times, like I said, our pride and our egos get the best of us. Like I said, I will run from a fight now. I will run. I don't care. I don't care nothing about looking like no punk. I do not care. I'm running. I remember my friend said that a long time ago. She said, "Bitch, I'll run from a fight." I said, I know that's right. I will too. I'm running because I don't have nothing to prove. I don't have nothing to prove. Now I know sometimes though you get into a heated argument with somebody and your temper, it's hard. I'm not gonna act like it's easy not to, get all in your ego and stuff like that. It's hard not to, but then you gotta think of the bigger picture. You gotta say, you know what, especially if you got children, you gotta think like, man, I don't want my kids to be out here motherless. Excuse me. You gotta think like that. You gotta think of the bigger picture always. Like, you know what? Yeah, my husband, he up in there with her. He laid up in there with that bitch. But you know what? Let me just go on back to the house and let me go ahead and pack his shit up. And he'll be back. He got to come home at some point. Shit, I would have messed around, got the locks changed and everything. Like, nah, you go over there and you be with her. Since I gotta come and find you over here, I done put a tracker on your damn car, and this is where you coming, and this where you been coming. And I watch a lot of crime TV, y'all. So I be watching shows like For My Man. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he was telling me, he said, I don't understand why some people just be putting themselves in certain positions, like For My Man and Fatal Attraction and stuff like that, where like especially on For My Man, them girls be killing and stealing for these fools, and it's like, you done put yourself in a position where your freedom is taken all over this man, and you still ain't gonna be with him because you locked up and he out here still bopping and moving. It's like, it's not even worth it. And the guy, he was telling me, he was like, I just don't understand. I said, I don't either, and I don't want to understand, because I love my freedom too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not judging anybody, because we all one bad decision away from being locked up or dead. But I'm just saying, sometimes we know better. Sometimes we choose our pride and our ego. So like I said, I mean, I don't know what to say about the situation. I can't say, oh, well, I hope justice is served. I mean, if that girl gets some time, she's not going to get a lot. And it also depends on her past, if she got a, past, of being in trouble with the law and all that. I don't know. I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, if she may not get no time, but if she do, it's probably not going to be much. But I'm going to keep following the story though, because I'm like, man, that's just crazy. Man, that's crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that because I thought it was really sad. And like I said, I know situations that it just kind of hit it did just kind of hit home for me, that situation. It just kind of hit home for me. And I wanted to come on here and get my 2 cents about it. Basically, overall, just want to say, we gotta not let our pride and our ego get the best of us. We gotta think better. We gotta think wiser. We gotta think about the bigger picture. Because most of the time, when we out here trying to fight over, and it's just not worth it. And unless somebody did something to your child, or did something to your mama or whatnot, it's just, what I'm saying, it's something like that. It's just not worth it. If your man, if he just got to go cheat, and you call him with a bitch or two, you know what? Fuck it. Let him go. I know it's easier said than done, but it is what it is, I got a friend who had a brother who was married, and I don't know what was going on in that marriage, but I know it resulted in him killing his wife and then killing himself. And my friend said that before he did it, excuse me, he said before he did it, he was telling people that he was going to go do it, and nobody believed him, that he was going to go kill his wife. And, hurt it's a real emotion. It's a real emotion, hurt and pain. Like, you just never know when you feel hurt. You don't know what it's going to drive you to do. You just don't know. So, yeah, but I think that's all for now. I don't want to be on here too long because I got to get ready to get myself situated so I can get up in the morning. But I did want to come on here and speak my 2 cents on the situation. Don't forget to share and subscribe to this podcast and follow me on social media. And until next time, peace. All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on social media. All right, take care.